just start the game off cussing people out.
We're down 2-0. The message is that, our backs are against the wall, and how are we going to react? We have two options. We can fold or we can fight like the Miami Heat do.
We don't give a shit what everybody else thinks. What will it take? Whatever is necessary. It's as simple as that. If you want something badly enough, you'll figure it out. And our group is extremely stubborn, persistent, and we just need to figure out how to overcome this opponent.
Bam Adebayo did not play in that Game 2 after an MRI revealed a neck strain on the left side, but he is listed as doubtful for Game 3. He does say that he expects to play. Dennis, if he's part of the lineup, what can he do to slow down Anthony Davis?
I'm not sure there's much he can do, but at least if he's on the floor, maybe his presence, his energy, his activity can give the Miami Heat some hope, because let's face it, Bam is an all-star. Bam has worked his tail off to get to this point to be in the final. But Anthony Davis, as they say, today's JJ, he's in his bag right now. He has a running mate, LeBron James. So I don't know what else. I don't know what else Bam could do, because AD's just playing on that type of level of basketball.
Well, you can't guard him one-on-one. You just can't do it. He's too versatile in this game. Now, one thing he can do if he does play is make AD work on the defensive end and maybe pick up some fouls so he's not on the court. I mean, that's about the only way you're going to stop AD. Now, will Miami change up a little bit their defense and double team AD either off the dribble, on the pass, from the top, switch it up to make him uncomfortable? Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that to get the ball out of his hands to force, the other guys to beat you, because right now, the way AD is playing, he's either knocking down jump shots, he got you in the post, he's getting offensive rebounds, getting to the free throw line. All of that right there you can't take away. So what can you take away? Maybe take the ball out of his hands as much so he doesn't have a lot of opportunities to see the basket. Other than that, there's not much you can do.
But, Jim, you do bring up a good point about Miami's potential defensive adjustments. So let me ask you, Dennis, as Jimmy has expressed his belief in his team to still be capable of doing something special here. What are some of the immediate adjustments that you would make if you're the Heat in Game 3?
If you're the Heat, first of all, you got to rebound the ball better, because in that zone, the Lakers were able to get so many second chance opportunities on the offensive rebound. So you have to rotate. And then you look at the stat sheet, you say, well, they didn't shoot that well from three-point land. Well, a guy like Rondo, who you would say to yourself, JJ, let him shoot all day long. But I think midway through the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter, he knocked down three threes in a row to kind of get them over the hump to make that zone look bad. So rotate better and definitely defensive rebound better, keep the Lakers off the glass.
Well, the NBA Finals continue. 65 points in the Game 2 win, and the team is now 20-1 when those two score at least 60. But Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat aren't going to go down without a fight. After the game, Jimmy said, "We're never giving up. We're going to ride with this thing till the wheels fall off." Welcome back into our NBA TV studios. I'm Kristen Ledlow. This is Game Time, presented by State Farm. We're with you to look ahead to Game 3, to look back on Game 2, and I'm joined by our 3D, Dennis Scott and Jim Jackson. Guys, are we set for a sweep here? Or?
I got my prop ready. I got my prop ready, guys. I got my prop ready. I don't know. Should I use it?
After
should
2
I use
wins?
it, Jimmy? Should I?
I think we got to wait at least one more, like a game and a half.
No, I think we should wait another game. Give Jimmy and the Miami Heat credit. They fought so hard to get in this point. But as we were talking before the show, Jimmy, this is a situation where you wish you could be in South Beach, because this is where your crowd can get behind you. This is where a guy like Tyler Hero or someone can come off the bench and go off for 35. But not having that hurts.
Okay, Jimmy, that, by the way, could just go on a T-shirt. This is a situation you wish you could be in South Beach. That's just applicable regardless of context. But yes, Jimmy, continue.
But you're right, Dee, because you think about the home court. Now, you go home, you feel energized, you play a little bit differently. It's only so much you can tweak to the game plan. The Lakers going to be who they're be. Heat going to be who they're going to be. The personnel is going to be the same. But the energy that you get from playing at home is a lot different. And this is a case, like you said, when you don't have it, you got to dig a little bit deeper to find something else, some kind of other gear, because LA is playing lights out, and if they're playing their best, the Heat are playing their best, the advantage still goes to, the Lakers.
And again, LeBron and AD were unstoppable in Game 2, a 6th straight win over Miami. They've won 10 of their last 11 postseason games. Those two had 33 and 32 respectively. And LeBron-led teams, by the way, are 24-0 after establishing a 2-0 lead. Take a look at this. LeBron and AD joining an elite list of teammates scoring at least 30 apiece on 55% from the field. And, of course, the list includes LeBron's name not once, not twice, but 3 times. He did it with Kyrie in 2017, with D. Wade in 2013. And, of course, those Kobe and Shaq comparisons continue as those two did it back in 2002. So here's more on what LeBron and AD have in common with those Laker legends.
Obviously being in high school and watching the Kobe-Shaq duo, it was the most dominant duo that I have personally seen in my life from a basketball perspective. I grew up admiring Kobe, obviously, for, kid coming straight out of high school. So, admired that kid that was young and got the opportunity, and obviously the force that Shaq played with. So just very humbling.
It's unbelievable. The way that they work for each other, but both of them, like you said, playing at such an elite level, both of them extremely determined to win a championship. And, we're not there yet.
Sometimes we're going to argue, sometimes we're going to have disagreements, but we know it's coming from the right place. But when you got two guys who want to win as bad as we do and want to be dominant every single game, it's rare you see it. We know we have something special with us too and with this team. We just try to capitalize on it.
The size and the power and the speed that Shaq at his size played with. You can look at my game throughout the course of my career and say that. And then you look at the elegance and the ability to shoot the ball and the ability to play in the paint as well, post up, get into the perimeter. I guess you can say that you can have some of AD's game that can compare to Kobe's game in that sense. I guess all 4 of us, we have a winning mentality, and we just try to make enough plays out on the floor throughout the course of the game that would benefit not only ourselves individually, but for the most important thing, for the better of the team. I can't even believe that we, up here talking about myself and AD with Kobe and Shaq. I mean, it's an incredible thing.
That it is. And guys, we knew that performances like these would invite those Kobe and Shaq comparisons. So it seems too simple to ask who's the better duo, but I do have to start there. Dennis.
No, it's a fun comparison. Obviously, I may be a little bit biased, but anytime you have Shaquille O'Neal on your team, you're going to get wore down. And I know people talk about, AD shooting 3, AD's finesse, but in one sheer possession, Kobe might go by LeBron and pass the ball off to Shaq, and Shaq will dunk both of them in the basket at one time. So that is why I'm picking Shaq and Kobe all day, JJ.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with you from this, because there was a period, even though Shaq only won 1 MVP, which is a shame, he was the most dominant player. You really can't say that about AD right now as far as being the most dominant, unstoppable player, even though he's tough to guard. But for me, because of that Shaq factor, because of the way Kobe kind of was relentless, yes, LeBron is probably more efficient than Kobe, but Shaq himself, and you got a chance to play against the slimmed-down version of Shaq when he was athletic, really running the floor, and then there was the powerful Shaq that was in the Lakers. And that was just a force that you could not stop, and that's why I give the edge to Kobe and Shaq.
Interestingly enough, LeBron identified with Shaquille when he was discussing that comparison and then did the same for AD and Kobe. So, Jim, let me ask you here, are there aspects of LeBron and AD's games together that could long-term potentially be better?
Well, it's so different now because of the way the game is. The game now is I'm not going to say softer. The freedom of movement now allows guys to be able to get to the basket at will. AD is going to play on the perimeter. So he's giving you a whole kind of different dimension in what he can do offensively. It's tougher to take the ball out of his hands. With Shaq, you can kind of double and get to him. But because he can play on the perimeter, he presents different problems. And think about this. With LeBron, by having a guy like AD, he doesn't have to dominate as much. Okay, now he can work on 1, getting more assists, 2, working on his jump shot a lot more. Not being the guy that has to actually go out and score. He can be the setup guy. So as I look at it, AD actually can prolong LeBron's career from this perspective. He doesn't have to work as hard because he has someone he can go to all the time that can relieve a lot of the stress and pressure. And when it's time for LeBron to take over, he can do that.
Dennis?
And speaking of pressure, Kristen, can they win 2 more games? Can they win 1 more championship?